Welcome. My name is Adrienne Enns, and I'm the founder of May You Know Joy. And I'm so looking forward to spending the next hour with you. So before we dive in, just a huge shout out to everybody involved in creating SOULFest, everybody behind the scenes, the organizers, the teachers, facilitators, and all of you joining us. I've had the opportunity to take part in some of the classes, and wow. So my intention for our time together is to tell you about intention setting. And we're going to specifically use card pulling as a tool to do that. So what's going to happen is I'm going to tell you a little bit more about myself. I'm going to tell you about why this work is so important to me and why I want you to practice it. We're going to talk about what it actually means to be intentional, because a lot of people are like, I hear this term all the time, but what does it actually mean? And how can I apply it to my own life? And then we're going to learn how to pull cards. And we have some awesome people who have agreed to have their cards pulled. So you're going to see this all happen live. And what I want you to know is that even if you are not having your card pulled specifically, there is always something here for you. So you're going to learn something about the person having their card pulled, but the word's going to resonate with you. So I really want us to, let all the judgment go and just be really open to receiving. So yes, as part of exploring joy, I want to start with a mantra, and I'm going to read it to you from my book, Intentional Days. So I really want us all to arrive together in this space. So I invite you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. I love to put a hand to the heart, hand to the belly, but I invite you to put your hands wherever you're comfortable. I want you to breathe deeply into your belly. I want you to drop your shoulders, soften your brow, and really feel your heart expand. And I want you to have these words really resonate in your heart, because to me, this is the spirit of our most intentional living. Here is the Intentional Days mantra. I have deep reverence for my moments. I know that moments turn into days, turn into weeks, turn into years. I know that my greatest joy, my deepest truth, and my highest sense of purpose are already within me. I honor them. I see them. I feel them. I will know them, embody them, and live them. I will show up in this world as the fullest expression of myself. I will be wise and knowing. I will be curious. I will be open. I will enjoy and I will celebrate. I will be kind to myself. I will love myself deeply. I will choose to nourish everything that connects me with my highest self. I will allow the radiance of this energy to extend to the people and the world around me. I remind myself that all of my intentional days create a life on purpose. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. I invite you to return and join me. Yes, so this practice of knowing joy is my personal work in the world. And I just want to tell you briefly how I came to it, because you might be arriving here or in this moment from any number of places. My life for a long time was not intentional at all. I didn't know what the word meant. And when I reflect now, I had no idea what joy meant. I was riddled with anxiety. I had terrible, debilitating panic attacks. I was living for everybody else, trying to meet their expectations. And I just didn't know how to cope with the anxiety, the panic, my emotions, expectations, or any of it. So I did what I knew how to do to cope, which was to drown it all out with alcohol. And I don't know if you've suffered from addiction or know anybody who has, but it's a horrible downward spiral. So I needed to seek professional help, which is the worst thing that I ever did. Worst in that I was terrified. It was extremely difficult, and I felt immense shame. Best in that when I walked through the doors of that rehab facility, I was like, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen next, but it can't be worse than this. And my life has changed exponentially. I'm really happy to be able to share with you that coming up on February 11th, I will be sober for 9 years. So these small, simple acts of being intentional have saved my life and continue to do so every single day. So the two key lessons, and there are so many more that I learned from that, I was like, I have been putting so much energy into my own self-destruction. Imagine what I could do if I put a fraction of that energy into good, into taking care of myself, into creating a life that felt purposeful and nourishing and fulfilling and joyful. And then that was the other part. I was like, if I'm going to all of this trouble to turn my life around, I really do want to be happy. I want to know deep joy on an ongoing basis. So we know joy by knowing the full spectrum of emotions, right? Pain, grief, we go through trauma, we have sadness. And I was like, I'm going to choose joy. So when we're intentional, it doesn't mean I'm happy 100% of the time, but it means even in those difficult situations, I'm choosing to align myself by taking nourishing action. So this pandemic is a perfect example. You know, what are the small things that we can do every single day to align with our greatest good? So that to me is what it means to be intentional, loving this life, having reverence for it. And we all have raw material. What are we going to do with it? So let's work through it and then take those learnings to grow and create and show up. So that is what inspires me and inspires my work. And so one of the really simple tools that I had in my early days of recovery was a card deck. And what I loved about it was, number one, words are powerful. And I needed something to draw me back into center and to align me. And I loved this card deck because it just opened my aperture. So instead of living in this, autopilot, I started thinking about new things. I was inspired. I was like, oh, I wonder how this is going to show up for me today. I was curious and adventurous. So I wanted to create my own deck. So it just started with words at the back of my journal, words that had a big impact on me. And I've created a few card decks since, but today we're just going to focus on one, and that is the May You Know Joy card deck. So inside this package, and I like the bag in case we need to keep crystals or anything else in there, there is a little booklet and a deck of cards. So today, when we're choosing cards for the people who've agreed to accompany us, We're going to be choosing them at random. So trusting that, the universe is going to send them the right message. So it may resonate with them right off the bat, or, it might show up for them over the course of today, this week, the coming year. And when you're familiar with a deck, so whether it's this deck, there are also lots of great card decks, whether you're into angels or animal spirits or nature, you need to find the tools that work for you. Sometimes when you're familiar, I do choose a card on purpose. So something that I want to align with, that I want to manifest and cultivate. So I chose one for all of us today, just to get us going. And it's no surprise, perhaps, but I chose May You Know Joy because I want to show up in this space for you in a joyful way. And I want to help you connect to joy in our time together. So I'm going to read the passage shortly, but whenever I pick a card, the first question, so the question for you is, what does this word mean to you personally today? How does it feel? What's coming up for you? And sometimes resistance comes up. So that's always interesting too. So there's always a lesson in resistance. So just meeting yourself like you would meet yourself on your mat. What information is here for me? And then also when we pull a card, I've noticed in pulling these cards with thousands of people, sometimes people will go to the punitive. So I don't have enough joy, or there's lack or not enoughness. And I want to really cut that out. So I want you to always look at your intentions as opportunities. So where is there an opportunity for me to connect to joy, to feel joy, to share joy? And then we can turn to the booklet. And people have asked me, is this what it means? And I'm like, I would not be so bold to say I know exactly what it means. But I have written some words of inspiration. So if the words elude you, or you're like, I got nothing, this doesn't mean anything to me today, here is some guidance. So the pages look like this. And here's what we have on joy. May you know joy in its depths and its boundlessness. The joy that comes in a blissful moment when time stands still and magic hangs in the air. The joy that comes from being a full expression of your highest self for your greatest good. Joy lives in your heart, and its greatness is a song. It's your song, the song of your soul, celebrating all of the universe and your sacred home at the center of it. So that is for our group. Often card I will post. I have them on my desk. I put them in my bathroom. They're in my kitchen, on my fridge. You might want to write it down. We need these visual reminders to, when the day goes off the rails, this pulls us back. We're like, okay, things are going wild. Where is the joy in this moment? All right, so we're gonna do some card pulls now. And as I said, if you're not getting the card pull, it doesn't mean there's not a lot of juicy information here for you. So first up, we have Veronica.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi. I am so excited to be doing this workshop with you. Thank you so much for creating this beautiful deck.
My pleasure.
I'm excited to dive in and have my card pulled.
Thank you for participating. And I'm going to point out this deck is way bigger than the standard size deck because these amass on my desk. So I'm like, more is better. Maybe that's my addictive personality.
Yay. Love it.
I'm going to shuffle these for you.
Okay.
And what we want to do is I just want to pull a card and trust that whatever card's coming up is in alignment with your highest good for today. Are you there with me?
I am 100% here with you.
All right, so I think it's this one. Mm,
And that's the one I had my eye on.
I love it. So yours is May You Know Nourishment.
Oh, I love that.
So sometimes things are very personal. If it's personal for you, you can tell us that it's close to the heart. But if you're willing to share, I would love for you to share, what nourishment maybe means for you, like in this moment today.
I think that's such a perfect card, and it couldn't be more a truth. I think that, although we're living in this COVID time, a lot of us, there is a chance to slow down, but a lot of us are still kind of, doing that New York hustle, doing a thousand things. So nourishment, this card is a great reminder to just make sure that, I pull back my energies wherever I need to in order to fill up my own cup so that I can continue doing the things that I love to do. So that's what nourishment means, just kind of self-care, pulling my energies back so that I can continue to show up for everyone, including myself.
Absolutely. And I'm going to read and that's what it is. Like we always with these cards want to go to our heart first, like and you know exactly what this means for you. And so I'm just going to read to you for a little more inspiration. And then I also want to encourage you. You already know what it means, but sometimes, once we set this intention for ourselves, all kinds of nourishing opportunities might come up for you that you didn't even expect. So being intentional is also being open.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what it says in the little booklet. May you nourish your mind, your body, and your soul daily. They are your divine trinity. Nourish your fibers, your ideas, and your values. Strengthening these will carry you further than you might dream possible. May you treat yourself with kindness and compassion and share your nourishment with those in need of it. They will come to you and you will both be nourished in the process.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So I invite you to, if we were together, I would give you this card so that you could post it and look at it. But I invite you to write it down, or whether it's in your journal, put it on a Post-it note, but put it somewhere so when your day gets a little off the rails, you can go back to it.
I actually have your cards, and I'm going to make sure that I pull that one and keep it,
even better.
Even better. Close for me to be reminded about it. So thank you so much. This was
so welcome. Fun. May you know nourishment, Veronica.
Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Yes, next we have Lauren. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, I'm smiling because I already feel so aligned with this. I was sitting here before we got started in my journal that a friend of mine gave me, and her concept that she's working on is transforming to joy. And then I was writing notes, and I kid you not, I was writing notes about nourishment, the word all over the place. So I'm ready.
I have to tell you, yes, between that and people pulling the right cards, they're like, how does this happen? I'm like, I don't know, but the synchronicities are unexplainable and awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to shuffle these. Oops. Oh, actually, one just dropped out, so I have to pull that one up for you because sometimes they jump out of the deck. So 1 sec.
Now I'm so curious.
Simplicity.
I could use a lot more of that.
It's one word that I always go back to. So in this moment, though, again, if something is close to the heart and you want to keep it close to the heart, we're honoring that. But if you do want to share with us what this word means to you in the moment, I'd love for you to do that.
Yeah, definitely what's coming up for me is that I balance a lot of different things in my life between 2 careers and 2 kids and my husband and my hobbies. And that just, when I simplify and organize things and cut out all of the extra, everything is so much clearer and easier, and it actually works to be that busy. Busy becomes abundant instead of busy. So
Yeah.
Simplify.
Yes. And I think what also I hear you saying that I just want to emphasize for everyone watching is that like this is a practice, right? Like that's how I feel with this word, that it's like there's always an opportunity to further simplify is what I'm trying to say.
My husband is not in the room right now, but I'll have to tell him because I can hear him this morning telling me, you really should just simplify and weed out things in your closet so it's just easy for you to find and see things.
Yeah,
So,
and simplifying is
appreciate
also nourishing, right? Yes. So he's here with us too. All right, I'm going to find the passage just to read it for you for in case it opens up anything else for you. So simplicity. May you know the beauty of simplicity and may you find it in your life. If you just peeled away all of the extra stuff, all of the shoulds and the have-tos and everything that causes you stress, what gift would you be left holding? Know the people and places and thoughts and ideas and dreams that are meant to be here in the simple and uncomplicated place. They are your truth and they will bring you joy. Lighten your load and keep it simple.
That's beautiful and perfect.
I invite you, since you do have your journal and in your busy life, you know, whether you do put it on a Post-it note or there's, you know, some object or picture or something that reminds you of that, it's great to have these talismans in the physical world to bring us back when things go awry, which they will do. So I'm wishing you very much joy in your simplicity.
Thank you. I'm going to put that Post-it note right on my work computer so that I open it up and it's the first thing I see.
That sounds perfect. I think I'm going to do the same thing. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Anxious.
You're anxious. Okay.
To see what's coming
excited or anxious? Okay.
No, excited. Yeah.
Perfect.
Both of our cards resonated with me, so.
I know, I feel too like they're all just meant for all of us. That's why I was like, there's always something here. All right, so for you, I feel like it's, oh, I'm backwards. Where was it? Maybe it's that one. Oh, this is good. May you know truth. So again, if it's a close to the heart thing, sometimes, you know, things for us.
Wow.
If you want to keep it close to the heart, you just tell us, or if you want to share what truth means to you, I invite you to do that.
I don't really know, to be honest with you, on so many different levels that can hit. So I guess that's one of those things I'd have to think about and kind of, you know, reflect on and see what exactly that's trying to bring out.
Absolutely. And this is a perfect example because sometimes that is the case. Sometimes we immediately know, like, okay, this is speaking to this specific area of my life. And other times it's like, this might be revealed to you. And you can just be like exploring through your day, like, where is the truth in this moment? Or where is there a truth for me? So I imagine it will unfold for you if you are curious. But in the meantime, to inspire you, we will take a look here. Okay, so may you know truth. It is so simple and yet so powerful. Sometimes it is difficult to face, but it is undeniable and there is vast strength in it. Do not resist it, but accept it and embrace it. Stand in your truth, speak your truth, feel it in your core, and know it in your heart. With truth, everything is clear and free and exquisitely raw. The truth really will set you free.
Wow, I really like that. I really, really like that. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. So just as I suggested to the other people who joined us, if you are curious to explore it further, I invite you to, write it down, or if there is something tangible that reminds you, might be a very beautiful exploration for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Hi, Annette.
Hi, thanks for
How
having
are you? My pleasure. Thanks for joining us.
Very excited.
All right, we're going to give these a shuffle. So we're going to ask, we're just going to keep the question the same today, asking for whatever word and message is in alignment with your highest good for today. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, so I'm just going to choose this one. All right, so it is, may you know compassion.
That sounds.
We can always use more compassion. I know I can. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. Sometimes, the cards strike a personal chord. So if there's anything close to the heart that you're like,
That's interesting.
for me, that's fine. But if you want to share what it means for you, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I think that's actually interesting because I've actually dealt with this recently, where I had to question if I am being compassionate to someone, because everybody goes through different things in their life and you kind of have to step outside of it and kind of understand what they're feeling and what they're going through. And I had to do that recently, so it's kind of like shocking that you pulled that. So yeah, I definitely can relate, and it's something that I need to think about.
Something we all need to think about. And if you don't mind, before I read this, I just want to say something, because you just brought up this beautiful point that I often like to make, is that, there is no right and wrong in doing this, so I don't know your personal experience that you just had, but, just like when we show up on our yoga mats, sometimes we have lots of energy and we feel like we're just nailing it. And other days we're like, it's just lucky that I got here. So with the compassion, it can have lots of different shapes. It can be being compassionate to others, but sometimes the most compassionate thing we can do is also just take care of ourselves. So just want to remind you and everyone else that it can just look so many different ways. So asking ourselves consistently what it means is a beautiful practice.
Thank you.
All right, let's see what's in here. All right. May you know compassion. May you know that compassion is innate in all human beings. Nurture compassion and begin with accepting yourself for who you are and without judgment. Be genuine in your motives and take time to listen and understand and care for yourself. From this grounded place, take your compassion into the world. Compassion runs deep and has incredible healing powers.
That's amazing. Thank you.
You're so welcome. And, just because we always need the reminders, but I do invite you to, if you have a journaling practice or, to write it down, post it wherever you go to often, but to give it some room for reflection. Be curious about how it shows up for you, and just come back to it. I feel like this, I mean, after we pull a card in the morning, like this isn't more than a one-day thing. And I think you'll agree.
Definitely.
So,
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna give these a shuffle.
Okay. I'm hiding in the car so that it's noise-free without kids.
I hear you. Oh, kids and dogs and life.
Right, and I have both.
Me too. All right, so let's see. And I'm glad, first of all, that you did tuck away, that you took time for yourself so you and I could do this.
Likewise, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, I feel like it's this one. Oh. May you know inspiration. So again, I don't know if you saw the other ones, but if there's something in here that's like close to your heart, that you're just like, this is between me and me, you are under no obligation to share with us. But if you do want to say how the word resonates, we'd love to hear it.
I'm pretty certain it's because I've been lacking in finding things inspiring. Like I'm not as creative as I normally am. I'm not as inspired as I typically am. So I'm pretty certain that's probably why the card is pulled.
Okay. Perfect. So there's room for it.
Yes.
All right. So we're going to find it here. All right. So this is just for you then. May you know inspiration and its powerful energy. May you find the magic of inspiration sparkling everywhere you go. And may this inspiration be transformed in whatever way, shape, or form it is best manifested in your life. Be inspired and create beauty and magic in your life in every moment and every day. The world needs more of your infectious excitement, your unique creativity, and everything it inspires.
I love that.
That lands with you?
Yes.
What might it inspire? Do you have any ideas?
I've been leaning towards not teaching yoga anymore, which I know everyone's probably like, what? Right? Right, like that's like shocking, right? But instead I feel like my talents are better served elsewhere right now, and maybe helping guide others through their journey, whatever that might look like, whether it's through yoga or maybe it's through something else, because I've consistently said that I seem to have better success inspiring others and lighting fire underneath other people to get started or do what they love to do. So I think that might be what it's leaning me towards, because I've consistently thought that the last few weeks.
Amazing. Well, I can't wait to see where you take this and what you do with it. And just as I was saying to the other people who are on here, if this is something that you want to cultivate, so whether it's like, this can be as simple, as writing it down on a Post-it note, and putting it somewhere where you're going to see it all the time. So it's something that you can come back to. But I could also imagine inspiration could be, I don't know, like a piece of artwork or whatever, really, a color, something, whatever it is that really lights you up and inspires you. So to put that in your space, so when you want to come back to it and draw that energy, it's right there for you.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Crystal, and good luck in wherever your path and adventure takes you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Take care.
My pleasure. Hi, Ingrid.
Ooh, I was muted. Hi, Adrian. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. How are you?
Good, good. Glad to be here. Can't wait to get my card pulled.
I love it. I also hope that everybody who is watching on is, as I said, just getting something from, I just know every time one of these cards is pulled for somebody else, I get something. You know, we're all like sharing this great energy. So this is a lot of fun. And I miss doing this in person.
Oh, I can't wait for us to do things in person in general.
So this is like fun. I'm like, this is like my idea of being in a candy store. All right, so let's just see. I feel like yours is right at the end here. Ooh, I shouldn't do ooh and ah. Like I'm like setting the mood and based on my own whatever. Sorry. May you know playfulness.
Oh, fun, literally.
Yes. So what, again, if you're like, you know what, it's just between me and me, we absolutely honor that and I can head straight to the reading. But if you want to share with us what that means for you, I would love for you to do that.
It definitely resonates. I enjoy life. I like to find the joy in the little things, savor those moments. But at times I take things too seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what it could be. Sometimes it could be work, or sometimes it could be overthinking something. So I get overwhelmed by that at times, that my joyfulness then gets pushed away into my serious mode. And then I don't enjoy things as much. So I have to remind myself not to take things so seriously at times, and not take things personally, and find that playfulness in all situations. So find that inner child in me. And that's pretty cool, just to keep that youth, that inner child in you of curiosity, of being, of finding, I think it's curiosity, the playfulness, the beauty of being a kid. And finding that in different situations and different obstacles or challenges that come. And I can, top of mind, I can name like a handful of stuff. But yes, that's what it means to me. Don't take things too seriously. Remember to keep playfulness in your heart.
I love it. And so if you don't mind me asking, what helps you remember that? So when you are getting really serious, how do you shift yourself?
Oh, I mean, yoga has really helped a lot, in the sense of not yoga, the physical, but yoga, the breathing. So when I catch that change of emotion of why am I taking this to a more serious place, instead of looking at the brighter side of things, or finding that playfulness in it, or how I can react to something in a different manner, I think it goes back to my breathing. So I have to stop and think at the moment, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling like this? And what is the best way that I can shift my energy away from that negative and bring more of that love, that playfulness, that joy, those positive things, because it shifts your energy.
I love it. And if you don't mind, before I read this, I just want to highlight what you just said for everybody watching, because you just perfectly captured what it is to be intentional, because it is this awareness, right? It's this awareness of everything that's going on, and then choosing. So it's not like we're ignoring the bad or the negative. And I just want to make that clear, because sometimes people just assume it's positive all the time. And it's like, no, it's not. It's really being aware of there are all these aspects of who we are, and they're all guides and inspiration and wisdom. And then what are we going to choose for ourselves? So I just really love the way you said it. So thank you.
And I like the reminder of playfulness because it's hard. You know, you have to remember to be that aware about things. So thank you.
You know, it's also interesting, and I am going to read this, I promise. I promise. But I also want to underscore that. I was going to wait to say it, but now you brought it back up. But I totally agree. And for anybody watching, on my website, I do have an intention setting workbook. So I bring people through this annual, like, what do I want to do for the year? When we look at 12 aspects of our lives. And it's my personal practice, now digital format, because that's the COVID world. But when we were doing it with a group of people recently, I asked them, I was like, we're only going to choose 3 for today because we had limited time. And I was like, I want you to choose what your heart would choose, not what this would choose. This would always choose, not always, but like work, finance, personal development, all of this. And a lot of people chose play because they were just like, wow, I don't play enough. I forgot how to play, you know? And sometimes it is this remembering of like, what does play feel like to me? And we have to go out and experiment and then allow it in, you know, allow ourselves to feel it. So.
And to piggyback off of that, it reminds me also of courage, because even to be playful, you have to have courage in the sense of letting go. So beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for pulling my card.
Now I actually am going to read it for you. So we got off on the slow ramp, but we're back on the highway. May you know what it is to play and have fun. Like the kids who run out the back door in the summertime and get sweaty and wet and dirty and fall into bed at the end of it. May you remember the freedom that comes with being creative, going with the moment and not following the rules. You need playfulness in your life to shake things up and get the creative juices flowing. Be inspired and be playful. Play every day.
I love it.
Yes, I just think that's such a good, all of them are good reminders, but the play is sort of underestimated and sometimes put last. So I hope you have a lot of fun playing.
Thank you, Adrienne. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Sending you love. Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, and yourself?
Good, thanks. I'm just going to shuffle these up for you.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm like, this is my first time, so I'm like, kind of like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say.
I'm going to walk you through it, and there's nothing you have to do and no rules, so just enjoy it.
All right. I am here for it.
All right. So we're going to pick a card, and it's just an intention. So whatever word comes up is in alignment with whatever your highest good is.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull this one. And the card is, may you know authenticity. So I was saying to the other people who participated, you know, if it's between you and you, what this means to you, you can just tell us and I'll read the passage from the book. But if you want to share with us how that word resonates with you right now, I would love for you to do that.
Honestly, there's nothing that comes to my head like right off the top. Like I'm really trying to think.
You don't have to. If something comes up, you can share it with us. But I just want to tell you with the cards that come up, it's always just an invitation, you know. So authenticity is an aspect of all of us, right? So it's just like as you go through your day, the next week, it might show up for you and there might be an opportunity for you to be like, how could I be more authentic? Or maybe something will seem inauthentic to you. So I'm going to read to you from the book. All right. May you know authenticity. May you be transparent and authentic and open in your life. May you stand in your own truth and tell your story. May you be willing to be raw and vulnerable and true. Wear what makes you feel good and sing from your heart. Stop following the rules. May you know the incredible freedom of blazing your own trail.
I'm throwing up my hands because literally it's kind of like verbatim or something like that. It's basically like just becoming my true self and just, I guess, being like my authentic self. I was kind of having a conversation with my friend about that about 2 weeks ago, and it's over the past, X amount of years of me being on this earth. It was, I guess, like a struggle of kind of finding myself to actually be that, that authentic person. So it's like, and it's crazy that the way you said that, and it's like it kind of like just resonated in me. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy.
Good. And sometimes, so it did resonate, but it is sometimes hard to put into words.
Yeah.
And for you, and again, I'm using these as teachable moments too, is like sometimes with any of this, it's also not like we're open or closed, but just like this constant, becoming more and more authentic with each day, year, step, action. Like sometimes it's big steps, sometimes it's baby steps. So
that's what I'm truly working on, like very truly working on. And I'm actually glad that you actually said that, because it actually confirmed that I'm actually doing the right thing, and me moving forward is actually a good thing. So
I'm sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, thank you.
And so I also encourage you, so wherever you spend your time, like whether it's writing this word down or there's some, like a picture, the screensaver on your phone, like something, or a phrase, somewhere where like when life is going wild, you know what I mean? You're getting caught up in things, like something to bring you back to ground into this. So whether it's written or something to remind you, I just want you to come back to this.
Do you mind actually reading that whole definition again for me, please?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. You can find my Instagram. I can take a picture of this and send it to you.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And that's true for anybody else who had theirs read as well. That's so easy. But I will read it for you right now.
Okay.
May you know authenticity. May you be transparent and authentic and open in your life. May you stand in your own truth and tell your story. May you be willing to be raw and vulnerable and true. Wear what makes you feel good and sing from your heart. Stop following the rules. May you know the incredible freedom of blazing your own trail.
Awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Oh.
Hi, Jen.
Hi. I'm on.
You're on.
Hi from Minneapolis.
Oh, hey. How are you? What's the weather like there?
Cold.
Yeah, same here.
Cold and snowy, but the sun is out today, so that's nice.
Okay, and there's a card that just dropped out for you.
Oh.
So we got to take it.
Yeah.
And it is also nourishment. This came up earlier, so it doesn't matter. Just
no, I didn't hear what I just logged on a few minutes ago for the previous person, so I didn't hear it.
And it's all perfect because we would do it all over again for you. But the first thing when we pull a card is just like asking, like, what does this mean for me? Just in general, or in this moment, depending what's going on in life. And you are welcome, to say, hey, this is between me and me. And I will read you the passage from the booklet. But if you want to share what nourishment means to you, we all learn from each other. So if you're willing to share, I'd love to hear it.
Well, I mean, it's easy for a lot of us to picture, or we've all felt what empty feels like.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of the opposite of that. feeling full and satiated and doing those things to nourish you, to get you to that point. And we're often caught up in things that, you know, that we have to do for whatever reason, but that might not nourish us. And I that really resonates with me in terms of my work life for sure. And probably some other ones too, if I were to stop and think about that some more.
Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, I feel like there's always an opportunity for more nourishment, right? Okay, so I'm going to read this to you and you can just take it to heart. Okay. May you know nourishment. May you nourish your mind, your body, and your soul daily. They are your divine trinity. Nourish your fibers, your ideas, and your values. Strengthening these will carry you further than you might dream possible. May you treat yourself with kindness and compassion and share your nourishment with those in need of it. They will come to you and you will both be nourished in the process. So I'm going to encourage you to, whether you're writing this down in your journal, putting it on a Post-it note, or if there's something, this always reminds me of nourishment. I always have my glass of water, like that just reminds me to hydrate and rest and take care of myself. But yeah, any physical representation, and just for you and everybody watching, because when I've pulled this card before, so many of us can go to like getting hard on ourselves for all the things we're not doing. Like I've seen so many people pull this card, be like, my diet's terrible. My, exercise regime is non-existent. And I'm like, this is never an opportunity to get down on ourselves. Our intentions are just opportunities. So nourishment could be going for a walk, having a nap, like all of these simple things. And I want to add at this point for everyone that it's like the simple things that we do consistently that have this cumulative effect over time. So it might feel small and insignificant in the moment, but we keep doing it. And to your point about like, we want to keep that cup from not being empty, even if it's just a little bit full, but we're going for all the way full, but to nourish. So
okay.
Well, here's to your nourishment, Jen.
Yes. Cheers as I drink.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good.
I've been really enjoying this, and I'm excited to be your last card pull.
Amazing. I know this time I was like, wow, it just goes by.
Yeah.
Like this, but I also love how all of the cards sync together and oops. All right, yours fell down too. They're just popping out today. Oh, this is a good one to end on. May you know laughter. So again, you are under no obligation to answer, but if you want to share what humor or laughter means to you.
Well, what's coming up is just how healthy of a release it is. Just to laugh. That real, like, letting go of energy in a playful way, and it's vibration. It's sound vibration, and letting that out loud out of the body is a beautiful thing.
I totally agree. And I just want to add, as we're kind of closing up, and for everyone too, like the laughter, that one sometimes I think gets underestimated, like with the playfulness, the healing power of it, and not all of our intentions have to be so serious, it could just be, sharing that funny Bernie Sanders meme and away we go. So I'm going to read to you. May you know laughter. It is such a generous and honest release, and it brings so much joy. You may notice that the world around you can be a very funny place. See the humor and share it. Laugh and let it go. Laughter releases you. It relaxes you. It brings your beauty and your uniqueness and your lightness into the world. The world needs more laughter, and it needs more you.
Thank you for that. It's
My
a really
pleasure.
good reminder.
So same thing. So maybe it's also, yeah, like a funny, I don't know, picture joke, whatever lights you up and makes you laugh, to have that really present in your life.
Yeah.
Have that reminder.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. It's
Thank you so much, Laura.
important. Make sure, I think we're posting in the comments where everyone can find you and get your cards. I'm sure everyone's going to want to snatch them up now.
There is a coupon code for everybody participating. So yeah, 20% off all the card products. And if you have questions, you can email or DM or what have you. But there is one thing I did want to add, and it's just that these cards are a tool. So it's my pleasure to like create and inspire and share them, because that helps me heal and grow and learn in my own way. But this practice is also your own, you know? So I'm also pulling them every day on Instagram. So I'll even do your card pull for you. You don't have to do anything. But also, you know, if you don't, cards are just a visual reminder. So again, it can be as simple as a Post-it note, picture on your phone, a plant, a screensaver, a piece of jewelry you like to wear, something that grounds you. And I believe that there are 3 foundational intentions. So if we left the whole deck, everything, and if you or I chose love, kindness, and or gratitude, and we on this planet, we're all living for one or all 3 of those places, it'd be a lot different. So love as in love for yourself, love in the words you choose, love in your actions, love for your neighbors, love for your community. Same thing for kindness. Kindness for ourselves, kindness for the environment, kindness for the world around us. And then this gratitude, right? So even in the tough moments, even in this COVID pandemic, grateful that we're all able to come together online and connect and share. So
yes,
your intentional living is all of the simple things that you do all the time. So I just want you to infuse it with joy and do it and love it. So thank you all so much for spending your time, having your cards pulled. Find me online, asking your questions. I love it, and I'd be happy to share more with you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Adrienne, and thanks for your support of SOULFest.